the silver and the bronze. I give you Canada, France, Germany, Serbia, and Australia.
Germany, more so than Canada. I think that their talent, it's a little more tiered. You know what Dennis Schroeder's capable of, Franz Wagner, another player, Daniel Theis steps up, and Mo Wagner as well. They're built to really take advantage of the mistakes that Team USA makes, and they can make the effort plays.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Try and set the stage for what should be a great year of NFL action.
There's a handful of teams that potentially can compete for a Super Bowl championship.
Confusion and uncertainty this year more than some in the past.
This team looks like it's ready to make a move, but we just don't know if it's bad or good this year.
J.J. McCarthy is eventually going to take over, but it's a no-lose situation for them.
I mean, they suck. They were 7-10.
Only on SportsGrid.
That race for the Cy Young, pretty much as equally compelling and intriguing as the race for the wild card spots in the National League.
And also keep in mind, this team doesn't pitch the entire season, so his ERA gets affected much, much more if he has a poor outing than, let's just say, Chris Sale or Zach Wheeler that's been there all season long. This would be a fun one to watch it play out, but the big loser last night were the Phillies and Zach Wheeler.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Hopefully they learned their lesson. Hey, this ain't the NBA, bro. You don't have 6 fouls, and they will check you on this stuff. And Brooks has a reputation coming into this. You can tell the refs are watching them, and they were on him all the time.
This was 10, 12 years ago. Canada playing Greece with that type of lead that they had. They probably would have mentally crumbled and lost that game to Greece by 3 or 4 points in the final minute of that ball game.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Ferrall has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. I am watching the women's gold medal field hockey game with Netherlands and China, and I was watching it for a while, and I noticed that they don't hit. There's no hitting involved. It's literally it's hockey with goalies and everything, and they're moving it around with these these sticks, these clubs. They're like hockey sticks, but they're long, and they have a little teeny curve at the end that they hit the ball with. But they don't hit each other. There's no hitting. So once again, I am going to refer to the NHL manual of violence. I believe in hitting at all costs. And if there is no hitting, I'm not interested. Watching these chicks play defense with their stick, and they just try to steal the puck from the other player or the ball. And I just think there'd be so many more effective steals involved if somebody got plastered. I just think there'd be opening scoring chances would open up the more hitting that was involved. But there is no hitting. It's just chicks running around playing with a ball and a stick. It's unbelievable. There's no violence. I'm very disappointed.
No violence in field hockey. That's it. Just more of a skill game.
Well, there's violence in lacrosse.
There is violence in lacrosse. You're right about that, but not in this. Field hockey, they eliminate. Now, I don't know if it's different with the men. I don't. It probably isn't. I'm sure it's more of the same. That it's more of a skill game, you should say, as opposed to that. Elsewhere,
whatever.
Halftime in that women's basketball game, Belgium leads France 36-31. Of course, the winner of that gets to lose to the United States on Sunday in the gold medal game for the women. So you have that cooking. And the Twins now have a 4-2 lead over the Guardians after a sac fly just now by Farmer. So 4-2 Twins in the bottom of the 7th inning, game 1 of the doubleheader at Target there today. A very big 4-game series between those two. You also have the gold medal beach volleyball for the women coming up, Brazil and Canada, in about 20 minutes. So you have that too if you would like to dabble in that. About to get going. I think Brazil, Scotty, heavy favorites, minus 350 for that gold.
How
medal
can you be
contest.
that heavy of a favorite if both teams make the final? It's like saying one team's so good and the other team isn't. How do you make the final and you're that heavy of a dog?
They may be, on the same level like the basketball with the women on the United States. They're just that good. They're not going to lose to Canada in that gold medal beach volleyball final. It's just not going to happen. We shall see in the coming moments. All right, I want to get through a few things from last night, and then we'll get into tonight's action. Big slate. Everybody's in action, of course, except for the games that get rained out like the Yankees and Rangers already have been. The Mariners beat the Tigers 4-3. They were down, Scotty, 3-1, bottom of the ninth, bases loaded. Mitch Haniger at the plate. Root Sports Northwest walking it
Come
off.
on.
Out to right field, and it gets on past the lead. Raley is in. A Rosarena blitz run and anchor. He's on his way home. The Mariners win it. They walk it off in the ninth inning. That man does it again. Mitch Haniger.
And then they had to ruin it with the hockey horn.
They had to ruin it with the hockey horn at the end, of course. Big win for the Mariners, 4-3. They walk it off against the Tigers. Next, the Rays beat the Cardinals 6-4. Let's ring the bell again, this time with Brandon Lau. And man, Scotty, I'm glad I was watching
What
this
a
last
great
night
call.
while I was doing the radio show. I was glad I was watching, because if I would have heard this and not been watching, I would have thought that I didn't ring the bell, but thankfully I did. Bally Sports, Florida.
First pitch, he swings and drives it deep into center. Scott's going to go all the way to the track, to the wall. He leaps. And did he get that or not? We're waiting, and finally the call for the home run. Brandon Lau hits one out on the first pitch served by Romero, and the Rays are going to take the lead.
He totally goes away from it, too. You notice how he blew off the fact that he said he's waiting for the call. Nobody was waiting for the call. He didn't catch it. It was over the fence. Nobody was waiting except him.
Dwayne,
it was a home run.
Struggling with our ring the bell, Lau home run to deep center. He's giving us no love at all, your boy Dwayne.
Well, that was our second one. And why don't we go for the hat trick now out in Arizona? Phillies beat the Diamondbacks 6-4. Well, listen, Schwarber's been hot. You got Harper. You got a lot of guys. Marte's been hot for Arizona. We went to JT Realmuto, taking a shot with him with a nice big price that he delivered on NBC Sports Philly.
And a high fly ball to deep left center field. JT has gone yard. First home run since the 23rd of May for JT Realmuto. And the Phillies take a 5-3 lead.
The guy doesn't hit a home run for 3 months, and the night we bet him at like $6, he hits one. You're a genius, Carver High.
Yeah, I liked the matchup with Montgomery. And if you didn't even hit it off Montgomery, the great Slade Ciccone came in the game, and he loves giving up bombs. And sure enough, we got him. Speaking of Jordan Montgomery, of course, he's pitching his first season with the Arizona Diamondbacks, Scotty. I guess nobody told him when he signed there. Now, he's played in New York with the Yankees. He's played in St. Louis with the Cards, finished last year in Texas with the Rangers. I guess no one told him that it's extremely hot in Arizona in the summer. Your boy describing what it's like to pitch in Arizona, maybe blaming it on it as well. Here's Montgomery.
Yeah, I mean, it's like pitching in a jungle here sometimes. I don't know how it gets so humid, but I swear it's less humid in St. Louis during the summer than here.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
We've got to just battle through it.
Barrow called it swampy at one point.
Yeah, maybe we need to open the roof or something. It's crazy.
Open the roof. Wants the roof open, your boy. Sweat.
No,
it's like
wait
a jungle in there, he says.
Time out. I got 5 left. Time out. Now, first of all, let's be very clear here with our weather reporting. First of all, in Arizona, there is no humidity. Okay? It's dry heat. There is no humidity. When you go to Phoenix, it is a microwave oven. It is like Las Vegas. It is a microwave oven heat. There is no humidity. Not one drop of humidity. Not one, there is no moisture. It's dry desert heat. Secondly, St. Louis is literally your soaking wet armpit after you wash your car in the driveway in 100-degree heat, and you're dripping, and your armpit is literally a jungle of sweat and smell and body odor. That is St. Louis in the summer. St. Louis and Kansas City are the armpit of America when it comes to humidity in the summer. Believe me, I have been to Busch Stadium and to the K in Kansas City. It is the hottest, humid, brutal heat. It is way worse than the no humidity, dry desert heat of Arizona. I have no idea what's wrong with that dude, what he's talking about. I'll tell you this much. At least he's got a ring. He got a ring in Texas because all he's done out there is nothing.
Well, I think what he was trying to get at is maybe when that toaster's closed there, when they got that roof closed, maybe it gets humid in there. He sounds like he wants to let some of that hot, unhumid air from the outside.
So what, they don't turn the air conditioning on in the desert when it's 110 outside? They don't turn the air on? They don't want to pay that bill, the Diamondbacks?
It's like pitching in a jungle out there inside that building. He says.
What is happening out there? We need to investigate.
That's very interesting from Jordan Montgomery. All right, we'll come back. I've got more baseball for you, and then we'll get to tonight's games. Full
it's
slate
like my
of baseball.
shoulder hurts. I got COVID.
Yeah.
It's humid in
you
here.
You got taters later, too. Got to get to the taters as well in a couple seconds.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Harry on the top. Right hand from my Perry. Double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form. Bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Well, Carver High, allegedly 34C is dragging me to a pool party tomorrow in the sunny weather.
Wow.
Allegedly with a DJ and large quantities of alcohol and food. Hoping no one drowns. I'm going to the said pool party tomorrow. I have no idea who's throwing it. I have no involvement other than I heard food and booze. I said, all right, and there's music. Okay, I can live with it. But it looks like the initial plan for tomorrow. There'll be no racing at Saratoga, so I will go to a pool party instead.
Wow, how about that? You'll be doing that. I'll be hunkered down this weekend as I have coming up early next week the draft for the fall softball season for Ray Lewis as we get our team together after a big spring effort. Now the scores count in the fall, Scotty. We move up a division for the fall league. And we have to got the names. I got to go through all the lists. Who are we going to draft?
You're drafting players.
Got to draft players now. That's another thing. You step up. They don't just hand you the players anymore. You got to draft the players now. So big things on the softball front for me this weekend. Going through the list with a fine-tooth comb. Ohtani is on the road back to pitching, and it's impressed the Dodgers. It can impress them all that he wants, Scotty. He's not going to pitch this year. Okay, I'm glad they're impressed with his road back, but he's not going to pitch this year. So who cares, right? I mean, he's not pitching.
Is that
pitch this year?
Definite? I mean, it's definitive that he's not going to pitch no matter what. Then why are they letting him pitch?
I guess just getting himself, it's part of the rehab process. He's so many months out from getting it done, and they don't want him, and I don't think he wants to do it for real until spring training of next year. So I'm glad they're so impressed. He's not.
Well, why would you let him? I wouldn't let him pitch now.
Well, I think that you have to let him as it depends. I'm sure there's steps to this rehab when you have that surgery, right? At month X, you're supposed to do this. At month X, you're supposed to do this. Like in terms of how much you're throwing, how far you're throwing, how hard you're throwing. He can't just not throw it all and then show up in February and try to pitch again. So I get that part of it, but doing all these reports about how, he's looking so good, you're not pitching him anyway. So it's not like you're going to throw him in there in October and he's going to start pitching. So that's not happening for the Dodgers. Speaking of the Dodgers, they have the Pirates in town this weekend. Did you see the Pirates called up old Yankee Domingo Germán from AAA? Now, they had to do that. He had some clause in his deal that if he wasn't on the major league team by August the 10th, he could be released and go wherever he wants. So the Pirates brought him up to the major league club. We'll see if he gets into a ball game this weekend out in Los Angeles. Justin Verlander make a rehab start this weekend. He's been out 2 months with the neck stiffness. The Texas Rangers visit the White House to celebrate their World Series title. They could have stayed there an extra day because they're not playing tonight now in the New York area. So lots of fun for the Rangers at the White House.
I saw that visit at the White House, and I mean, watching this guy try to just talk or even entertain people with regards to sports is so embarrassing. He can't do anything anymore, this old geezer. And then he's talking about how resilient they are, the Texas Rangers. Yeah. They've been real resilient this year.
I wasn't going to say anything, but since you brought it up, he did mention at one point during the ceremony that Adolis Garcia had the most RBIs in a season ever or something last year. He had some stat, and all the players were kind of just looking around like, what? What's he talking about? What's he talking about? So you brought it up, so I went through the door. I kicked it down.
He's a mess.
The Braves and the Reds. Did you see this today? They announced they're going to play next year in August at Bristol Motor Speedway, the Speedway Classic. Look at this, Scotty. A baseball field on the racetrack next year for the Reds and the Braves.
Yeah, listen, I had a guy today talking to me about some NASCAR owner on the phone, and I was like, I wanted to gouge my eyes out. I don't even what do I care about that stupid racetrack? Honestly, I mean, I don't care if they raced in heaven and it was on TV. I don't, and I'm not listen, I've said this a million times. I've been to 100 NASCAR races, and I've partied in the infield at all 100 races, and I've never watched one lap of the race. I just drank and partied and ate and chased women I have no idea what NASCAR is. I don't even it's boring to me. But the parties in the infield there and the nudity and debauchery are fantastic. I mean, I even took your boy Waldo to a few races, and we did. I got his back shaved, a number 2 into his back at a NASCAR race, your boy Waldo. We're not allowed to say his name around here anymore, so I just go with Waldo. Is that all right with you?
That's fine. Quickly, I give you this every week. Before we get to tonight's games, I'll do it again. There are still some who are banging the drum that Bobby Witt Jr. should be the AL MVP instead of Aaron Judge. I disagree with those people, despite the great year that he's having. That's why Aaron Judge right now is, I believe that says minus 1,100, Scotty. He is the favorite now. Minus 1,100. Witt is the second choice on the odds board. Everybody else out of sight.
Yeah, and I think that's why that number is so gigantic, because it's already it's predestined. It's automatic that he's getting it. I mean, he's not done raking either. Trust me. The rest of August and September, he's going to hit a boatload of home runs, and that'll be that.
That will be that. And it's a similar situation on the NL side as we head into the weekend, as Ohtani has a huge lead on the odds board. There it is for him. Also, minus 1,000. Marte flew up the board, huh? Marte and Lindor moving on up for the NL MVP.
Yeah, listen, I'd be willing to have a conversation and an argument about what Marte is doing is more impressive and more exciting than Ohtani's big home run totals and RBIs. I won't deny Ohtani's incredible. But this guy, Marte, has literally been jacking home runs and carrying the Diamondbacks with his bat for a month and a half now. For 6 weeks, this guy has been on a tear. That's how he shot up that board. So I think he's playing great. And if he keeps it up, you never know.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Harry on the top. Right hands from my boy, double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Yeah, Carver High, the more I watch this game, the more interested I get in the Netherlands team. There's at least 8 or 9 girls that I would run off with. Are we on the air? Don't talk about. Just give the scores and stop. Okay. It appears that it's 1-1, the Netherlands against China, and the Netherlands tied the game up. Now, I'm watching, I believe, replay-itis because Morency told me it was 1-1 like an hour and a half ago. So I'm watching this game now, and the best part of it was he never spoiled it for us. He just said it was tied. I still have no clue who wins this game, so I'm watching it fervently.
I am trying to see if that is actually live right now. So the Netherlands.
Don't tell me.
Yeah, that is not
you
live.
already know.
I don't know. I'm looking, but I'm not going to tell you.
It is not live because he said an hour and a half ago that it was 1-1, and now an hour and a half later I'm watching it, and I was watching it. It was 1-0 China, and then I saw the Netherlands score, and so this is the final 5 minutes of this game. And it's been pretty fantastic. It's the gold medal game, and they're really going after each other. And there's at least it's just awesome.
It is replay-itis for you, by the way. Now I do see officially who won that. So now you can go ahead and enjoy it. I'm not going to spoil it for you and let you know how it finishes up. But it was a hell of a match. All right.
Just honestly, they're bent over the whole time with these sticks, and they're down on the ground, and they're making these passes across a football field. It's like the size of a football field, and they're making these passes with a stick, and they're so unorthodox, their bodies, when they're bending over and they're in these torqued positions. And I'm sitting there. It's so painful looking that now my scapula and upper back is hurting just watching it. I've started getting a backache just watching.
Not good at all. AL Cy Young. Let me give you the rest of these quickly, and then we'll do the taters, and we'll do all of tonight's games. Tariq Skubal is the favorite. Minus 350 now he's at. You got Corbin Burns, and then everybody else is a little bit of a distance behind here with just under 2 months left in the season.
I mean, was Skubal's game the other night in Seattle not enough for more brownie points here for Cy Young votes? I mean, that was impressive what he did against the Mariners, right? And I bet that at plus 118, and he won the game. It was a huge performance on the road against a tough team in first place. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he's still got the Cy Young.
I agree with you. It is him right now. The National League, a little bit more up for debate. I know who me and you want to win the NL, and he's pitching this weekend in Los Angeles. That, of course, is Paul Skeens, who's 2-1. Sale, the favorite on the board, 115. Zach Wheeler involved as well. Little three-man race for the top of the NL Cy Young board right now.
Well, I don't think Sale pitched well the other night, right? So that was a bad game for him. And then Skeens, his last game, he didn't pitch well, but they were up 4-0 when he left the game, and they lost the game. The bullpen blew the game for him, so it wasn't his fault. He got a no decision. So I would guess, frankly, that if he goes and mows down the Dodgers like he mows down everybody else, I want to see if last week, his last start was if he was running out of gas, because he really wasn't finding the strikes. He wasn't getting the strikeouts. He wasn't getting the outs easily and mowing through batters. He struggled, right? And finding location and everything else. So I want to see if, this performance against the Dodgers will be, I think, indicative of whether or not they're going to shut him down. Because, Mike, they're getting to the point where they're falling out of the wild card now. Like every day they lose another half game. You know what I mean? Every other day it's a game. So I think that if they get to the point where they're 5 or 6 out, they're going to shut him down.
That would be my fear as well, especially when it comes to that award. They are now 4.5 back of the final wild card spot as they head to LA this weekend. They've lost 4 games in a row. Quickly, AL Rookie of the Year. This one has a lot of debate to it still. It is Colton Cowser from the Orioles right now. Louis Heel is there. I got to tell you, if Jackson Holliday, I know he's only going to play the last 2 months, but if he's going to hit 4 home runs every week like he did for the Orioles, he'll climb up that list pretty fast as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna argue with that. Certainly, I'm not that caught up in that Rookie of the Year in the AL.
We don't even need to show the NL, because even if the Pirates did shut down Skeens tomorrow and he didn't throw another pitch this year, he would win the NL Rookie of the Year anyway. So it doesn't even matter. He's the NL Rookie of the Year.
I think he is, and I hope he wins the Cy Young, and I hope they don't shut him down.
Recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par fives. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
If he lands it pin high, he's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
Just get this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed.
To tie the lead at 16. Playing well, isn't he, John Rahm?
And OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Win, right? Selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend, missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
The brighter the lights, the bigger the stakes. Hunt or be hunted. Know your prey. This is a whole new jungle. This is the Lion's Share. Brought to you by BetMGM.
Have you seen their Swing for the Fences free-to-play game? It's really cool. You can win daily prizes. You got to be a BetMGM account holder to get in on it, though. Play as the batter, pick an area of the strike zone, get a single, double, triple, homer, or fly out. Play it once a day, free. And if you get one of those hits, you get a reward like a parlay boost token, odds boost token, a single game parlay boost token, bonus spins in eligible casino states, and bonus bets. All available, and the rewards need to be used within 24 hours. So you get a boost token, put it with the golf like Carver High does, and you could do great things and get some great odds. There you go. The Swing for the Fences at BetMGM. The Lion's Share brought to you by BetMGM. Time for Carver High's Friday Tater Ring the Bell specials.
It certainly is. I did get a triple this morning, by the way. 33% boost token for taters, which I will be using on one of these selections tonight. Very excited about that. Did we ring the bell for you enough last night, Scotty? 3 times, a hat trick of ringing the bell. Real Muto got us, Vladdy got us, Brandon Lau got us, and we look to close out a very, very good week of taters on the Lion's Share, brought to you by BetMGM. Why don't we start in Toronto tonight? Because what do I tell you I like to do, Scotty? I like to go after the pitchers who give up the most home runs around the league. I mean, honestly, it should be just as simple as that, right? Oakland's coming into town, and we have Jose Berrios on the mound in Toronto. What has Berrios done this year, Scotty? He's only allowed 25 homers. Is that enough for you, for Jose Berrios? And our boy, Brent Rooker, comes in with the A's. He's got 2 homers in the last week. Believe it or not, how about this for you? 6 homers on Friday nights this year. I'm even giving you day of the week homer stats here. He's got 6 homers on Friday nights, so he's been very good to us on this day of the week. We will go with Rooker. Nice price for him as well, sitting at plus 360. And I'll tell you this, too. The Butler has a homer in his career off of Berrios, and Vladdy is red hot. So if you want to go to Vladdy, too, on the Toronto side of things, I got no problems with that either, Scotty.
Yeah, Friday Night Lights. All those guys will hit home runs tonight. All 3 of them.
The great Mitch Spence, who going for Oakland tonight. So, yes, if you would like to get involved with Vladdy, we could do that. But Rooker's where we're going to focus our things. Next, the Braves have been struggling. But where are they going? A place where sometimes you can get the offense cooking, and that is in Colorado, Coors Field tonight for Atlanta. And Austin Riley has been getting it done. 3 home runs already in the month of August, and we're facing Tanner Gordon tonight for the Colorado Rockies. He's only given up 6 homers in 21 innings this year. So quite the ratio for young Tanner as he gets ready to take on the Braves. And usually, Scotty, you get the big power hitters in Coors, and you're paying $250, $275, $300, plus $360 for Austin Riley tonight. Ozuna was $240. I said, I need a little bit more than that. I want to eat tonight. Riley at plus $360. Let's go.
Yeah, I like that play, and they'll take advantage of the Rockies this weekend, just like the Mets did. You know, they lost 1 game, but they still won the series.
No doubt about that. They will take advantage of them indeed. Next, we will go to Tampa. Orioles and the Rays getting together at the Trop. Interesting here. You have Zach Eflin going for Baltimore, facing his old team in the Rays. Now, the Oriole guys have been good, Scotty. Santander has been very good to us. I think Gunnar Henderson has an excellent matchup. In fact, Gunnar Henderson against Zach Littell, 5 for 10 with 2 homers. But Gunnar's been cold, Scotty, and we've played him a few times in the last 2 weeks on the Lion Share, and he has not been ringing the bell for us. But if you'd like to play Gunnar, go ahead. I'm going to go with Christopher Morel on the other side of the coin for Tampa. 2 for 3 with a homer off of Eflin in his career. He's got 3 homers in his last 6 games against the Orioles. Christopher Morel plus 450. He's got a couple since he joined the Rays from the Cubbies. We'll go big ball with him tonight.
Why not? He's swinging for the lake.
Oh, remember that? Right before he got traded? Swinging for the lake. And he's been swinging it good for the Rays so far as well. Next, this guy has been cashing tickets for us. I feel like sometimes we just have to stay with what's working. And we have the Royals and the Cardinals tonight getting together. And you're giving me 5-1 on Bobby Witt Jr. tonight in that series? Come on. He's got 3 homers already in the month of August. Your boy Mikolas has allowed 18 homers so far this year. Let's load up the lumber again with Bobby Witt Jr. tonight.
As long as he doesn't catch all rise for the MVP, I'm gladly allowing another Bobby Jack tonight to ring the bell.
Ring the bell. That is correct. All right, the Reds are in Milwaukee against the Brewers, and this is just straight another one of going after the pitcher, Scotty. Aaron Savale for the Brewers tonight. He's allowed 22 homers in 112 innings pitched. Your boy loves giving up long balls. So we have a lot of guys on the Reds we can go with. Of course, Ellie's been very hot. You've got Steer. Friedel's got homers in the last couple games. But I'm going to go with Candelario here. It was more price for me, plus 575. Maybe not as good on the left side, but I'm not worried because Savale gives up so many long balls. So Heimer Candelario, plus 575 for the Reds in Brewtown.
I love that price. I mean, you hit so many big tickets with, gigantic odds. Like, that would just be incredible. Another 575 piece. Let's go.
All right. Now, I usually like to send you in the weekend with a couple of big balls. At least we'll try a couple of really long shots to get us juicy here on a Friday night. And I had to get the Buccos involved at some point going into L.A. I know they've been slumping, but we're going to try to turn them around here. And our boy, Rowdy Tellez in L.A. Now, listen, this is a dart play for us, Scotty. He has not homered since July the 24th, so he hasn't homered in a while. But he's actually seen Flaherty pretty well in his career. He's 3 for 5 off of him, plus 7. Hundy For Rowdy, you know he's going to be in the lineup against a righty. Let's go and take a shot with the big fella tonight in L.A.
Let's go, big fella. Swing that big stick, Rowdy style, son, out in Lipstick City.
And this last one is an even deeper shot, but honestly, I was making this a play no matter what the price was because he's been hitting the ball so well. Jackson Merrill for the San Diego Padres, he just tortured you in Pittsburgh against the Pirates. Now they go to Miami where Cabrera's on the mound tonight. He's allowed 10 homers in 48 innings pitched. Not good against lefties either. Merrill's got 2 homers in the past week, plus 800 for Jackson Merrill. I saw some good prices on the other guys as well, Scotty Machado, Profar, but I'm going to go for the big stick here, plus 800 for Jackson Merrill.
Yeah, I mean, I like this play because he's been hot this week. So I like guys that are seeing it and hitting it, and he's doing that. So I love that price too, and it's a nice long shot. Let's go.
Hot this week and a pitcher who gives up a lot of taters. That is as good a combination as you can find on a daily basis. So here we go. Lion's Share brought to you by BetMGM. Brent Rooker, Austin Riley, Christopher Morel, Bobby Witt Jr., Heimer Candelario, Rowdy Tellez, and Jackson Merrill. Big ball. And we even gave you a couple of secondary options in there, too. The Butler, Gunnar Henderson, Vlad. There's a couple secondaries that you can go down.
The secondary market. By the way, they do shootouts in the field hockey, and they are in a gold medal match shootout, and the Netherlands was up 2-1, and I'm assuming if this girl scores right here that they'll win the gold medal. I'm guessing they can't be caught, and she scores. But they are not celebrating yet. But I think they're up 3-1. I don't see how they could possibly lose.
Maybe
I guess this
stop.
is it.
One more stop.
I don't know how many they do because it looks like they're up 3-2 or already 3-1. They can't catch them. I think the Netherlands wins. That's my guess.
They did.
The Lion's Share, presented by BetMGM.
Hopefully they learned their lesson. Hey, this ain't the NBA, bro. You don't have 6 fouls, and they will check you on this stuff. And Brooks has a reputation coming into this. You can tell the refs are watching them, and they were on him all the time.
This was 10, 12 years ago. Canada playing Greece with that type of lead that they had. They probably would have mentally crumbled and lost that game to Greece by 3 or 4 points in the final minute of that ball game.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Try and set the stage for what should be a great year of NFL action.
There's a handful of teams that potentially can compete for a Super Bowl championship.
Confusion and uncertainty this year more than some in the past.
This team looks like it's ready to make a move, but we just don't know if it's bad or good this year.
J.J. McCarthy is eventually going to take over, but it's a no-lose situation for them.
I mean, they suck. They were 7-10.
Only on SportsGrid.
That race for the Cy Young, pretty much as equally compelling and intriguing as the race for the wild card spots in the National League.
And also keep in mind, this team doesn't pitch the entire season, so his ERA gets affected much, much more if he has a poor outing than, let's just say, Chris Sale or Zach Wheeler that's been there all season long. This would be a fun one to watch it play out, but the big loser last night were the Phillies and Zach Wheeler.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Their coach has a personality that is New York City. Tough, grinding, defensive, no holds barred. We muck this game up and we make you play it our way. And Tibbs has been rewarded, and he should be rewarded for what he's done with the Knicks.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
right, Carver High. I'm now watching the France-Belgian women's semi. Winner meets the U.S. in Sunday's gold medal game. And France was down at the half. They're now up 5 with 4.5 minutes to go. And I turned it on, and I think Mafia may have called it for a fix. The fix is in that both French teams will be playing somehow inexplicably in the gold medal games. I think they'll both be in for a rude awakening Saturday and Sunday, any way you slice it. At some point, they get both French teams in the final in Paris. Congratulations, and then they're both going to lose.
So you're saying
both
French teams are going to get silver medals is what you're saying. That's it. They got them both in the final so that they can both win silver medals. And they would absolutely medal.
That women's team's better than the men's team. Like the women's U.S. team is legit. They cover spreads. They blow everyone out. And the men's team F's around in every game they play.
They've won, 61, 62 straight?
They're going for 61. They're going for 61, I think.
So, yeah, I wouldn't be betting against them, that's for sure. All right, let's get to the baseball tonight. Yankees and Rangers already washed away. They will play a straight doubleheader tomorrow afternoon at the stadium starting at 1 o'clock. So a back-to-back there for that. As of now, everyone else still in the mix. We'll start in D.C., where the Angels, after taking 2 out of 3 from the Yankees, head down to take the Nats. Jose Soriano and Mitchell Parker Lewis can't lose going for D.C. Minus 115 for the Nats, minus 105 for the Angels, and a flat 9.
Yeah, Parker doesn't do it for me. I'm going to stick with the Angels here. After they got rid of the Yankees and played so well against the Yankees, why not go beat the Nats? They stink.
They do stink, that's for sure. Next, we were talking about this Baltimore-Tampa game during the Tater Time segment. Zach Eflin and Zach Littell, the pitching matchup tonight. Minus 145 for the O's on the road. Rays plus $1.20 and a flat 8.
Yeah, I like Baltimore on the run line at plus 122 to beat the Rays in Tampa. I think Eflin's looked sharp so far for them, and I think they beat the Rays.
Oakland into Toronto. Jose Berrios going for the Jays tonight. Mitch Spence goes for Oakland. Minus 155 for Toronto. Plus $1.30 for the A's and an 8.5.
Well, I'm not laying that juice with Berrios after you told me how many home runs he gives up. I'm not going anywhere near that. I'll take the A's and that price at 135 because Spence has done everything that Berrios has done. Literally, I mean, they're almost identical what they've done this season. So I don't have a problem with the A's with their bats.
I do not either. Houston opens up a weekend series at Fenway against the Red Sox. Ronel Blanco and Tanner Houck, the starters here tonight. Red Sox minus 135, plus 115 for the Stros, and a big 9.5.
I mean, the Astros just haven't been scoring runs, right? So they've hit a wall again. I'm on Boston here in Houck at Fenway.
The Padres, of course, have been red hot. They go to Miami to see the Fish. Martin Perez against Edward Cabrera, the pitching matchup. Minus 125 for the Friars, plus 105 for the Fish, and a flat 8.
I'm run line in the Padres. They've won 5 in a row. I can get it at plus 115. And I like the over 8.5.
Over 8.5. I like that as well. Cubs and the White Sox. Of course, the White Sox coming off after chopping their manager, Pedro Grifol. Jameson shots at Tyone. And Garrett, don't call me Davy Crockett because my name is Crochet, goes for the White Sox tonight. Minus 145 for the Cubs, plus $1.20 for the White Sox, and a flat 8.
I see no one in the world is betting on the under. I'll take the under based on, I think shots at Tyone and Crochet, your boy Davy Crockett, they don't give up a lot of runs. I mean, the White Sox don't score runs, and this guy doesn't give up runs. Give me the under. I'm not laying that juice with Tyone. I'm just going to hope for the best on the under and that it's a good pitching matchup.
Cincinnati and the Brewers in Milwaukee. Carson Spires and Aaron Savale, the pitching matchup. -145 for the Brewers, +120 for the Reds, and an 8.5.
I mean, I'm run lining the Brewers. All they do is win, and it's +140.
It is +140, that's for sure. Guardians and the Twins will play the second game of that doubleheader. Minnesota won the first game, Scotty, to get within 2.5 of first place in the AL Central. It'll be Louis Varland for the Twins and Alex Cobb making his first start of the season. Remember, they traded for him from San Francisco. He'd been out all year. He finally gets back on the mound. -115 for the Twins, -105 for the Guards, and an 8.5.
I'll take Cobb and the Guardians even money in Game 2.
Cardinals and the Royals, of course, getting together in Kansas City. Michael Lorenzen for the Royals and Mikolas for the Cards. -120 for Kansas City, even money for the Redbirds, and a flat 9.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with that price on Lorenzen at -120. I'll take the Royals at the K.
Atlanta, as we mentioned, is going to Colorado to see the Rockies. Grant Holmes and Tanner Gordon. Who? Both of these guys, geez. -165 for Atlanta, +$140 for the Rockies, and, of course, the big 10.5 at Coors Field.
I'll go over and the Braves.
Phillies and the Diamondbacks again in very humid toasted that Arizona plays in. Zach Wheeler and Ryan Nelson, -145 for the Phillies and an 8.5.
I couldn't believe that they cooled off the Diamondbacks. I'm going to go again with the Phillies and Wheeler. I think he's too tough for them tonight.
I've got a couple more late night games. We will do that at the top of the hour after we, of course, come back and hear from Rich Sermonello with the weekly college football update. Big Bo Hostler in the clubhouse with a 10 under 60 at the Wyndham Championship. Wow, what a first round.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center, here in Salt Lake City, Utah, folks. What a night it is going to be. Historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Harry on the top. Who's the king of violence?
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
some win total unders from our boy, Rich Sermonello.
Hey, Scott, last week we talked about season win totals and the overs I liked. Let's turn our attention to some unders. I've got 4 programs that I think will finish below their season win total. Going to start with a big one, Notre Dame. ND set at 10.5. Good program. Might be a playoff contender this year. I'm not knocking Notre Dame, but 10.5 is too high. Look at Marcus Freeman, the head coach. First 2 seasons in charge, 8 regular season wins, 9 regular season wins. We think he's going to go to 11 at this point. I just don't see it. Love the defense. I think they're championship caliber. Question marks on offense. Riley Leonard had 2 ankle surgeries in the offseason. Offensive line lost both of its tackles, including Joe Alt, the high first-round draft choice of the Chargers. I don't think this team gets to 11 wins. Look at the schedule quickly, Scott. You've got road games at Georgia Tech, at A&M, at USC, home games against Florida State and Louisville. Louisville was a loss last year. I think these guys get to 10-2, possibly playoff. I do not see them going over the number. Now, number 2, I'm going to go to SMU, and I've spoke highly of Rhett Lashley, their head coach, and the program, the talent level. Nice American Athletic Conference program. No beef about that. But they're taking a step up in weight class to the ACC this year. And let's take a look at a quick case study for teams that did that last year in the Big 12. Houston went from 8 wins to 4 wins in their first year in the Big 12. UCF went from 9 wins to 5 wins. You had BYU, Cincinnati, both had their win totals cut in half. And so now SMU going to a similar step up in weight class. I think it's going to be a lot tougher than they think in the ACC schedule down the stretch. You're going to be facing some tough teams like BC, Duke, Virginia, teams that could win at the line of scrimmage. SMU at 8.5. Give me the under. Now, number 3, I'm going to go to UCLA. This is another program that is moving to a tougher conference, Pac-12 to the Big Ten. It's been a season of change in Westwood. New head coach in Deshaun Foster, never have been a head coach. Chip Kelly left in February. You've got average play at quarterback. That roster up and down, not very good. I think they win the opener against Hawaii. And then I think they skid into the midseason, 1-5, 1-6. Deshaun Foster is going to be looking at a rebuilding year. So UCLA's come down to 4.5. Man, I loved it at 5.5. I'm really annoyed at myself. I didn't get in at that point. 4.5, though, I still like the under. I think this is a 3-9 UCLA team. I think it's year 0 for Deshaun Foster in Los Angeles.
My man, Rich, thank you. Awesome stuff. And you see him giving the Irish the under, Carver High. I have seen it all. What about college football playoff movement here, Mike?
Yeah, and it just so happens I was looking at that win total for the Irish this morning and looking at that schedule. And their schedule, Scotty, like it's 10.5 for a reason. And usually Notre Dame plays a pretty tough schedule. They have a road game at Texas A&M to start the year. They have a road game at USC to end the year. Not a lot out of South Bend in between that. At least not a lot challenging for Notre Dame. So I'll tell you, I've said this to you the whole offseason. He don't make the playoff, he's going to get chopped this year. He has to make the playoff with bringing in Riley Leonard, bringing back 8-9 starters on D. Freeman better get it done this year.
Do you think
he's going to be
that
in big trouble?
Riley Leonard's that good of a quarterback? Do you think that Sam Hartman was a better pull for them last year that turned into a nightmare? What do you think of this guy? Overrated?
I think that we were very hyped about Sam Hartman, and for good reason, because he had such a illustrious career at Wake Forest, had played in college for 4 or 5 years at that point, and it didn't turn out the way we want. I think that the Riley Leonard move will turn out better. I think that it just will. I don't think it could be worse than what happened with Hartman last year, but Riley Leonard played really well at Duke for 2 years, and I think he's going to step in, provided they let him actually work. I thought they didn't let Hartman do his thing last year, and they want to run it, and they want to do all this. They have the old offensive coordinator back who had left with Kelly to LSU. He's back in South Bend, so I think that's going to help some things out, and they're going to get Riley Leonard to score some points, so that's a good thing, too. I'll give you the other college stuff later.
All right, so just an update. The Belgium chick hit a 3 bomb with 8 seconds left to tie the game. They were down 6 with 50 seconds left. They're now tied at 66 apiece. Mario Lemieux style, Le Magnifique.